So I'm headed into.
Make sure I'm not shiny.
Yeah, you're always shiny, baby. Shiny, happy people. I want the shiny people over here. I want the happy people over there. All right. Alan, you familiar with that REM jam?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I am.
Just checking. Yeah,
it's a pretty
well known song.
Very, very openly gay band. That might be the gayest song they ever did.
So that's the most. You're saying that's the most homosexual song that REM ever did.
No, happy, you homophobe. Very happy song. Smiling happy people. No, but I'm wondering if I'm any because no, I started moisturizing recently. My mom, I guess she had noticed that I was getting these killer's crow's feet over here in the corners, and she's like, "Are you moisturizing?" I was like, "No." She's like, "Well, I want to give you this," and she hands me these two really dainty canisters, and so I've been putting them on like war paint in the mirror though, like putting these giant streaks and then rubbing them in. But there is no way to feel like a masculine man when you put the eye cream on because it's dab, 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 rub, rub, rub. Yeah. And by the way, you have to use your ring finger. You have to use your ring finger for under the eyes because it's a very sensitive skin. If you're using the other finger, you have too much power and strength in them, and you might actually pull and microscopically tear the skin tissue.
Yeah, man. I care is important. You know, get them. I got some bags. I get bags under there. You know, got to soften it up a little. Got firm it up. But yeah, I feel you, bro.
I heard one of the.
Yeah, it's a technique. You know, you got to take care of your skin, largest organ in the body.
Well, one of the easiest things to do is hydrate and sleep well. But I heard
get out of here with your water drinking.
I think it's
you're fucking sleeping 8 hours. It's for the birds.
I heard is it grapeseed oil? I heard that helps out as well.
I don't know. I am glad for, again, we'll go back to REM, you know, the shiny happy people, you know, openly gay band. I am grateful for I'm grateful for the homosexuals in America. This is a very progressive thought process I'm going through right now, Alan. I hope you can join me for the journey here. It's become so gay in America that something like putting eye cream and face lotion on is no longer frowned upon quite like it was 10 years ago. So to the LGBTQ plus community, I say thank you.
That's fair. I would say that 10 years ago, you should have been moisturized and already you wouldn't have them crow's feet. That's all I'm saying. So, you know, we probably shouldn't have been looking down on it 10 years ago. 20 years ago?
Okay, well, there was so much shame involved in a man putting any kind of like taking care of himself. It's not a manly thing to do to take care of you're supposed to suppress your emotions and drink away the pain, and it doesn't matter what you look like. People should be able to read the pain in braille on your face.
Yeah, Doug, look, hey, I get it. I understand it, and I've also understand and embrace that's why many men prior to us just fucking dropped dead of built up rage and fucking disappointment and anger. Like, yeah, man, just gotta let it go.
Yeah,
let it ride.
There was a legitimate reason why.
There
was a legitimate reason why men in this country died. I won't say significantly on average younger than our female counterparts, but you know, it was a couple of years, year and a half. For a long time, I remember it being men were about 72 and women were about 73 and a half to about 74. Now, I think prostate cancer plays into that a lot, but you know, the women with breast cancer, that's not as prevalent, but it's still prevalent. So what the hell do I know? I'm going back to what you guys said. It's just pent up anger.
All I'm saying is, look, like, think back on your life, how many times, like, either a friend of yours at this point where you were a little bit older now, either a friend of yours or like your dad's friend or your uncle's buddy, you know, homeboy was mowing the lawn, dropped fucking dead. You know what I mean? You don't ever hear Karen, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, your wife doesn't come home and be like, man, guess what? Fucking Shelly was just walking to the printer, drop fucking dead, heart attack. You don't hear that shit happening to women. You know what I mean? Like I think it's a thing. That's all I'm saying. Anywho.
Yeah.
What's going on tonight, Wesley?
What I was going to open up with was I was going into the grocery store yesterday, picking up. I was going to get a nice piece of flank steak to feed my inner man, to feed my non-moisturizing self, and it was a nurse on the phone. She had presumably nurse scrubs on, and could have been vast. An array of medical professionals. But anyway, she's on the phone and she says, "No, I don't want to come over, and I don't want you to come over to my place. I am blanketed in an entire... I am blanketed in a world of hate and rage right now. No, I don't want to see you." And that was it. And I resorted back to the old Lewis Black bit of this, where you want to finish the story. And you start thinking about it. I spent the next half hour wondering what she was so agitated about. "I'm blanketed in a world of hate right now. I don't want to see you." Now, she said, "I don't want you to come over to my place, and I don't want to come to yours." So my presumption is not married, seeing each other, or someone that person is an item with. What she was so mad about, I don't know. But there are people in the world that talk like that. It was weird.
Oh, he fucked up. That's what happened. He fucked up. He did something. He said something stupid right around lunchtime when she was dealing with an infectious disease ward and some kind of COVID patient with a sneezing fit. And he said the wrong fucking thing about probably Thanksgiving, I'm imagining, whose house they're going to, where to spend the holidays. And then she was blanketed not only in vomit and mucus, but a film of rage, probably regret.
Sounds about right.
Maybe she just had a bad day at work. She just didn't want to see anybody. Why is it always got to be his problem? See, this is...
I don't think that's the thing.
This guy's probably a moisturizer.
That's the problem. You finished my entire jar eye cream. Do you know how much I pay for that shit? There's a 10% markup because J-Lo's selling it. You son of a bitch. Retinol doesn't just fucking drip out of trees.
Man, this man hit you with fucking Clinique. I was going to say Estee Lauder earlier, but either way.
Estee Lauder. Is Estee Lauder, did they make billions by linking up with JCPenney back in the day? Was that how?
Well, I think all cosmetics really just found their pipeline. They were like, listen, we've got these malls. There's only two entrances into the parts of the mall that people want to be in. And there's 87 entrances that go through department stores. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to fucking put this shit in glass cases, and we're going to have some young ladies hang around these glass cases and offer free fucking makeovers. And that's it. That's the pipeline. America just went with it.
Do you think there's a book to be written about the downfall of the American culture based on the downfall of malls in America? Because as soon as Alan said that 83% of the entrances are department stores, we would always park on the Macy's side because my dad wanted to go ahead on the way in to get half the Christmas shopping, at least the ideas done, because believe me, I have a lot of issues because of my father, but he had a pattern that he would walk through Macy's. He knew the people in his head and what sections of the store where he would probably find something for them. But all the way through, you'd have to pass through gauntlets of, cologne and perfumists and makeup samples and all the like. And then you had all the kids, their parents, just the entire communities from 3 towns out were all commuting to this one location. And people today, you go in there and it's just a fucking old folks home trying to get their miles in, walking laps around vacant stores. We don't see each other anymore. We don't have to deal with each other anymore on a social level. And so we're all just angry on the internet because we don't have to bump into each other in reality.
Yeah. I tell you, there were going to the mall with a lady was a date. You don't necessarily have to buy anything. Maybe you make a stop at the at the food court and you share something or get something to eat. But just hey, let's go to the mall. Let's walk around. and maybe that still happens. Maybe it does. I could, fuck. I'm at my age. Well, what do I know about teenage dating? Squadoosh, nothing. But that I don't know. But what you're talking about, yeah, puts it around. And you think about the money spent from people at these like Lord and Taylor's, Macy's, J.C. Penney's, and things like that. Those things. The foot traffic is designed specifically for your money. It's not just like, all right, we'll set the guys up over here, the ladies up over here. We got a couple things in the middle, cologne, makeup, wherever we find space. Like, no. That's mapped out.
Yeah, like I had to go, I forget what I had to go into the mall for, but it was a store in the mall. And of course, House of Town Center is that place is a monster.
Yeah.
So, I grew up with like Security Square Mall and fucking, that's a different world.
This is definitely like a George Jefferson moving on up type situation.
Yeah, like, oh, dude, this is like fucking this. It's got a garage that's got 5 levels, and there's 5 levels of mall to go with it. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, like you said, it's designed for like I walked through a department store. I think it was a Nordstrom, maybe. I don't know what the fuck it was, honestly. But I parked and I went in because my GPS told me it's the closest to get to where I needed to be inside of said mall. And I was walking by and I was like, ooh, look at this Adidas display. Ooh, look at this hat. And I bought it's like, just because I was walking by and I was like, oh, look at that. Perfectly positioned for fucking me to waste money on a hat that I definitely don't need.
Wasn't what I came in for.
No, not at all.
Yeah. I just remember we were stepping up if we were going down to White Marsh Mall, man. I just remember going in there for the first time. I was like, oh my God, there's 2 floors. Yeah. What am I going to do? How are we going to work this out? And then you had the Christiana Mall where it was shaped like a weird fucking like triangle where you could get lost because there was one jut that had it had like a dead end. And you were like, I picked the wrong turn because you get to that one 3-way corner. You go left and you can go all the way around in a circle, but man, if you go right, you can end up at the Cinnabon where there's no exit.
I definitely remember things like that too when I was a kid, like going to Columbia Mall or going to like Towson or coming out here to Towson, and we're like reserved for like Christmas shopping. Like we never go to fuck out there, but one time somebody's got to go fucking get like a J. Crew sweater. Let's head out to fucking Howard County. Fucking
right.
Yeah.
Put on your tracks. Put on your tracksuit, boys. We're going to the town center.
Exactly right.
I would say put on your Sunday best, but we don't go to church, so put on whatever the best you have in your fucking closet. We're going to the good mall tonight.
Get your nice tank tops.
That's right.
Don't wear your Levi's. Don't wear your Levi's. They might think you stole them.
Go into a town center. Might even get some TGI Fridays after.
This motherfucker has 2 Santas. One at the north and south end, all right? But it's the same Santa.
That's the only reason I know that malls are dying is because once a year I have to go sit in front of an asshole and pay him like $40 packet of fucking digital photos, by the way. I don't even print them out anymore. They're just like, you can download them your damn self.
Here's a link.
Yeah, it's not even. It used to be when we first got them done. It'd be like, hey, here's a USB. Here's a stick. Okay, here's a USB stick.
Classic.
Yeah. Now it's just. You should be. I'm just imagining they're smoking a cigarette for some reason, but that's what they're going to be doing as soon as I give them my credit card. Here's you're getting an email soon.
Like it's a website. Like, it's just a cloud server. You just fucking sift through it. Like 30,000 pictures. Your number fucking 20,172.
Yeah, and they're using a camera that's less advanced than the one I have in my phone. There's some that you can get the real cheap package. I think you pay them $15 and they'll let you just stand there and take pictures with your phone.
Oh, really?
That's just the mall Santa. So now imagine what the rest of the mall that surrounds it looks like. It's just a brick and mortar place for a fucking guy in a red suit to stand once a year.
Jesus.
Man, if I ran one of those things, the bottom of the barrel would be like you get a disposable camera, but you don't get the picture. Like
right.
You just hold the disposable camera, wheel it, take your picture, and then hand it back to me.
Crazy.
That's it. That's the experience. It's like $5. It's worth.
if this is the money pit that you say it is, I'm about ready to deck out my fucking living room. You know, have a fucking tripod and some fake fluff snow. I'll find some friend of mine or coworker that's slightly overweight. Fucking put that fucker in a suit. Of course, they didn't even have to be. You could stuff him, fake beard, make him look Artie Lang from Elf. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at this point.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you'll end up on the Interpol website for inviting small children over to your house for an exchange of money.
It's not like just children. I need to invite parents over. Come on. What do you take me for? Scam artist? Punk. Well, welcome to
Single moms, bring your kids to my living room.
Yeah, right. I have my assistant here set up the tripod with a Canon Quick Pix. Welcome to the Middle Classholes, everyone. Murr, Allen, and Fox, man, on this beautiful early fall. God, the weather's been beautiful here in the Mid-Atlantic. I don't know about the other parts of the country, but man, it's like the last little hints of summer. And especially, did you have off today?
Yeah, I did for Veterans Day. Thank you to all the veterans who have served in the past and present.
Yes, thank you all. Myself as well, and made the most of it. Drove up, had lunch with Mom Dukes, but man, God, it was fucking gorgeous out today. So, I don't even know how really this transitions, but this was brought to my attention a couple weeks ago. So the World Food Program, and I don't even know, did they send out the tweet that said 2% of Elon Musk's net worth would end world hunger, or did someone else say that?
I don't know. Was it World Food Bank? Was that who it was?
World Food Program, the WFP.
I don't even know what that is. That doesn't even sound like a legitimate thing.
Yeah, I know. No, they were basically they were on one of the cable shows, I believe, and they were talking about how like these billionaires who want to send stuff into space should step up, and for only $1 billion they could resolve world hunger.
Right.
And then I think I know where you're going with this.
Right. So our good friend, at least a good friend in our eyes, I don't know if he knows about us. I doubt it. But actually, didn't a fake Elon Musk tweet us back once?
Yes, he did. And I got so goddamn excited. The boner flew right out the front of my pants. Here
we are. We're going to be moderately rich now. Yes. So Elon Musk says, I'll tell you what. 2% of my net worth is $6 billion, which boggles my mind. If that's what it's going to take to end world hunger, I want to see your data. I want to see the evidence that this amount of money will end world hunger. I will sell my stock and I will give you guys the money if to make it happen. Hasn't happened since, but Murr, I know where you're going to go with this. Alan, I'm kind of semi-curious as to what you have to say about this. I have my own thoughts, but Murr, I'll start with you.
Okay, well, Elon did exactly what someone in his position who's willing and able to do so should do. All right, show me your spreadsheet. Give me an open account where I can see how the money's spent and where it's spent, and I will literally write the check tomorrow. He called their bluff, and he said, fucking show me it works. You got the money. And then they have yet to show him that it works, and so they have not got the money. He's willing to do it. And this is one of those things. This is like where you have like that. This is where you name the straw man. And what pisses me off about some of these talking heads is they create this. Normally you would just say, well, if those guys, well, no, he names specific people. And then the specific person says, okay, here I am. Here's my money. Show me what you want me to do and I'll do it. And they've given him nothing. And this is why things don't get solved, because there's so much fucking corruption in the world. Even if you have the means to solve a problem, you don't necessarily trust the people that you're writing the checks to adequately get the job. And so it never happens. And that's the saddest part. And so you can't keep vilifying these guys and get away with it, especially when you got somebody like Elon who doesn't fuck around and will call you out. And so that's why I think the elites hate Elon, is because he's too honest. If he does have Asperger's, it stops him from telling lies, and it stops him from giving a shit. And the, I don't know, $1 trillion that he's worth causes him to not give a fuck.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much spot on. if you have the means, which he does, to be like, ha, all right, draft me up a fucking business plan, $6 billion. And they didn't give him one. Now, I'd assume it was all obviously hyperbole, like fucking Murr is saying, and people are just, throwing out gargantuan numbers because they think nobody will ever actually throw that out there. But fucking, if you're gonna talk shit like that, you gotta at least have like a half of a business plan in the back, just to throw on a desk somewhere and be like, all right, well, here's what we were thinking, at least up front. We gotta work on the details. $6 billion, it's a lot of fucking money, but it's been a while now, and they've shown absolutely nothing. So I'm with Murr on this one. Fucking good on Musk. I mean, he could do something with the money, like just give it to someone. Just give it to Hoover. If you're gonna give that $6 billion away, just start giving it to fucking homeless guys. Like, just if whatever. Just it seems like there's a useful way to do it instead of just calling them out on their bluff.
Well, I think
somehow you'll end up with $6 billion worth of urine in the streets. I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, do like a Nick Cage if you leaving Las Vegas is around. I do find it funny. I don't know if it was the World Food Program. I'd have to go back and see what organization. It very well have been them. I don't believe it was the UN, but it's some. If it's not the World Food Program, it's another organization that is trying to accomplish the same thing. Raised $8 billion last year. And then, so the number is like, wait a minute. Well, if $6 billion would end world hunger, how the fuck didn't you guys do it? Okay. So they are a for-profit organization. They do have to pay people. There are people who get paid, for better or for worse, somewhat handsomely because they're, they're running an organization that people like you and I just don't want to do. Listen, I hope everyone in the world gets fed. Sorry, I'm not going to be the president, CEO, CTO, or see anything of a World Health Organization, World Food Program. But so the money was there. They still can't do it. Musk is like, yeah, I'll do it. Then I read this list of what you had alluded to earlier about how politics plays a role in it. Like, well, you just can't shove $6 billion into something like this and consider it fixed. I mean, there's logistics. There's third world countries that are going under civil war. There's this and there's that. And it's like, fuck. $6 billion won't even end it. There's policy and procedure that are going to get in the way. Great. That's where I kind of quit reading about it because it just agitates me that someone like Musk is like, all right, here you go. I'll end it. I will end world hunger. Here you go. Blank fucking check. and we still can't get out of our own way.
Yeah. I mean, we're doomed.
Yeah. Well, Go ahead. Well, because the problem is go into like the Congo with, I don't know, 40 tractor trailers filled to the brim with ramen noodles. There's some warlord out there is like, I'm eating for a decade, bitch. Like, nobody's getting food. Like, you can hand it out, but you can distribute it to a nation state, but it's not going anywhere. And so the only way to do that then is to go in with like the military and like hold people up at gunpoint and then hand them a packet of fucking surf and turf.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's start small. Let's start like Arkansas or Michigan or, something like that.
Yeah.
And I hate to call out if we have any listeners in Arkansas. I just threw that name out arbitrarily. I wasn't looking up.
That's a fair state. That's a fair random state to throw out. Like you just write that part of the map right there is just solid for that scenario. So don't worry about that.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so start small. Get your feet wet with like a state of Arkansas. I don't know, 10 million people ish.
But you do bring up a great point. I mean, the people of Troy spent how much money on a statue of RoboCop that's yet to be actually like erected in the city? I know it's finished, but they haven't actually put it up yet. But I mean, could we start with a place like Detroit and just say, okay, this one fucking city, we're gonna fix it. How much does it cost? And then, like you said, work small, and then work our way out. Solve all the crime in one area. Throw as much money as like humanly possible. Hey, get Bezos and Musk in there and say, all right, guys, what do you want to do? It's your money. It's your problem now. You fix it. How do you want to do it? And just let them have carte blanche. Just do whatever fuck you think it needs. And then we start to go from there. World hunger does seem like a rather lofty task, given the scenarios that are presented globally.
What I do admire Musk's point, though, because it's like people are starving. Children around the world are going days without eating food or drinking water. Like, okay, here, I'll fix it. And again, it's just like, well, sir, it's a lot more complicated than just throwing billions of dollars at it.
Didn't think that yet. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm pretty sure like Flint, Michigan still has like fucking pee water. Like, I think that costs like $500 million or something that I've read. And I'm probably bullshitting. I don't fucking know. But I'm sure that $6 billion could go a long way to helping American citizens drink water that doesn't kill them. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Now you're talking, Alan, because this was the point the entire time. America first. Let's start here, Alan. Then we can help everyone else. Let's help ourselves first. By helping ourselves, we lift ourselves up to help others.
I think about it like, okay, look, we help ourselves, and then we show the rest of the world what we've done, and then we help them. But in a fair trade, we then govern them. Okay, and then we rule them, and we collect their taxes, and we tell them what to do.
I think
it's a great idea.
I think what you do is you got it wrong. That's like that gets messy because that starts to get into wars. What you do is you secretly assassinate the people who want to use the resources of a different country for the benefit of that country, and instead install a leader that is more favorable to selling whatever the resource is in that country to the United States at a bargain price. I think I
like all your ideas.
That's kind of our style. Actually, we have a style of geopolitical disruption, and it's assassinations, covert assassinations, and implantations of new leaders, and then exploitation of resources. It's kind of our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Veterans Day, everybody!
That's right,
American.
America.
But hey, soldiers, our greatest resource. We provide them worldwide.
Tanks too. We got lots of those.
That's right. It's made out of steel. So this was posted on the official Middle Classholes Facebook page. Lost brother wakes up to his brother beating him. Man, just identified as man. Later on, it goes on to Martin Rasbiner, who spent 24 years looking for his long-lost brother, is reunited when he wakes up to discover his sibling stabbing him. The 35-year-old woke up to his brother, Evil, 42, coming in with a large hunting knife repeatedly over a grievance that Evo had with her father's inheritance. So dad dies. There's a house involved. Evo, 24 years ago, goes the fuck away, says, fuck you, kiss my ass. Then, 2 decades plus later, shows up, shanking the motherfucker while he's sleeping. Whoo-wee. No hello, no how you been, no, wow, you got a family, wife, kids, I have nieces and nephews. Look, house looks great. No, fucking... God, man, pent up. Are these people Russian?
You know what, though? It sounds like it by their names, but I look, they looked American in the picture, so I just posted it up, and that's how I want to believe they are. You gotta like respect lifelong determination, though. I mean, you gotta think it like that's half a lifetime for somebody of that ilk. You know, they're gonna be lucky to make it to 50. The brother was.
Yeah, these aren't.
He ended up with a fucking Bowie knife in his rib cage.
These aren't moisturizing motherfuckers. I mean, these are just like flaky ass skin having people. All right.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there's no moisturizing.
so Alan,
I like to call the white ash folk.
There's no they don't, you don't get Neutrogena up in that part of the country.
So Alan, you have two brothers. Say you didn't see Lou O'Brien for 24 years, and one of them was giving you fucking kidney stabs with a shank knife over an inherited house that either you or he got that both people were pissed off about. Shank him back.
Well, I mean, naturally we're Latinos, so shanks at all times. Also, fiery tempers, so this doesn't seem far off, quite frankly. It's really that's my opinion on it.
Yeah,
there you go.
Well, that and Alan, aren't you literally the baby of the family? So Alan would obviously be the one like getting all the shit, and so Alan would be the one waking up to the stab wounds.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's got a good point. That's entirely possible. But that's why I keep that shank on me.
Yeah, that's right. They call him fucking. They don't call him Alan Shankle for nothing. Shankle's
It's a old Oral-B toothbrush, if you want to know. It's got the most structural integrity.
Where is it? I feel like that was from Oz, where they wrap it in a bunch of saran wrap and then sharpen it. Is that right? Do I got that right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the general process for creating a shank. Is take a device, a hard object, create handle with tape, old underwear, maybe a sock, and then take the other end and you sharpen it on stone until it's sharp enough to disembowel a person and get you extra time added on.
Shank, yeah, okay.
By the way, I've had this theory for a long time. We'll get back to the story in a second, but if you offered like a prize of freedom to like some of your most hardened criminals, like they're living in some of the most butt fucking penitentiaries across the nation, and you just offer them carte blanche freedom, I feel like we could have them solve a lot of issues. They are some clever, creative sons of bitches because of the environment they live in. Think about that. Okay, could you or I, like with literally no resources, figure out how to make an alcoholic beverage in a toilet using household products and things that are scrapped from the commissary? No, probably not. I mean, it would take how many years of prison innovation to be able to figure something like that out? The ability to create a weapon. I remember watching an episode of where the guy had a deal. He had struck deals with people to get pats of butter so that he could masturbate with a lubricant.
I've seen that.
Right. And not
what I'm saying?
Is wild, bro.
I was going to say, not to mention the
if you haven't watched.
Not to mention the failed alcoholic attempts prior to that. I mean, you said it was years and years. I mean, you're sitting there brewing this shit in a fucking shitter toilet, and like, nope, nothing, not feeling anything. Nope, Jesus, when is this ever gonna fucking work?
Like, even if it's terrible, you have to drink enough of it to get you drunk. So you can't just like taste it and be like, oh, that's not gonna work. You have to like drink like a substantial amount of it until you're like, ah, fuck. I'm not drunk. This didn't work. I mean, that sucks.
Well, the radio station I worked at was literally right down the road, about a mile away from a prison. And I would take calls from prisoners in the morning once a week. And they would literally use their one phone call to call in and talk. And I asked the question, like, what's the greatest prison innovation that you've come up with? And someone had called in. And check this out, because there's no lighters or matches in jail. They were able to light cigarettes by doing this. They would take a paper clip and they would snap it in two, and they would place one end in the light socket and then let go and put the other end in the other little eye of the light socket. And then they would take a third piece and wrap it in toilet paper and drop it on the two pieces that were sticking out of the electric socket, and it would cause a fire, which they would light their cigarette off of. And I'm thinking, how many failed attempts before someone figured this out? Right. But how did you figure that out? I would never think to they literally figured out like electric circuitry with obviously very limited education, and were able to light a cigarette, the most rudimentary thing it's amazing. So I feel like if you presented them with complex problems and offered them freedom, we could solve a lot of issues in this world.
I mean, I agree with you, but I also think, like, you underestimate, like, all right, so two points here. Jail, prison, you're bound to have crackheads, and crackheads are innovative. All right, they're geniuses. So that's one part of it. Like, that's a whole different breed. Like, crack takes your brain to a whole different level of functioning where you can think of things like this. And then two, like, think about a lot, like some of the guys that you may or may not have grown up with and around. Like, you know, I know people who were from the area. I went to schools or played sports with them, but they weren't the most. They were unsavory, to say the least. You know what I mean? They ended up getting themselves into some troubles, into some drugs, into some jail time. But the one thing that they all have in common is that they all have offered some sort of general contracting services at some point in time. Very shadily, backhandedly. You know what I mean? Like, you punch a hole in your drywall, Johnny's got you. He's going to fucking patch her right up. It's going to be a little discolored, but it'll be fucking not a hole anymore. You know what I mean? Like, need light socket replaced. Got a fucking guy, just got out of jail, he fucking stuck up, you know, the fucking 7-Eleven, but he can get that light socket swapped out for you. He's good to go for that. You know what I mean? Like, those guys just kind of have that base knowledge. So I think that, you know, that's where you get the innovation from.
Yeah.
Separation and just the basic root knowledge of, like, electrical systems, plumbing.
Hey, man, regular dudes doing weekends, you know, coming in there, just dropping a couple knowledge nuggets to the regular guys doing 5 to 7s.
Yeah. That's also true. You think about that. Fuck. That's a good point.
Yeah. You know, just got someone who's just violated probation, you know? Like, you got 2 months of weekends. Fuck.
Look, I trust that any small ecosystem that creates its own economy based on 7-Eleven snacks and fucking cigarette can figure out how to light cigarettes from rudimentary sticks, and toilet paper. You know what I mean? I got no doubt about that shit.
But I also don't doubt that some motherfucker got like 120 volts blasted through him on failed attempts a few times. Oh, yeah. It's
like, someone died.
Yeah. Hey, shit. We're going from, I don't even know. This doesn't even correlate in any way. But hey, man, we have had a few really good, interesting conversations and news stories about farts. All right. Camilla Parker Bowles can't stop talking about Joe Biden's bowels. Long fart. Quote, President Biden let out a long, loud fart while speaking to the Duchess of Cornwall at a COP26 summit. Quote, it was long and loud and impossible to ignore. Hours earlier, Biden appeared to nod off during the opening remarks of the climate change conference. At one point, his eyes closed for about 22 seconds before an aide appeared to wake him up. So, Sleepy Joe is sleeping and letting off fucking loud ass farts at the Duchess of Cornwall, which I didn't know was a thing. Forgive me for my ignorance towards British royalty. She's like, oh my God, the president farted. You know what? Fuck that. I want my president flatulent, and I want him on semi on point. That's fine.
Yeah, I kind of, now that you phrase it that way, I actually agree with you. Our president's farts are there to be smelled and dealt with. Yeah. And, as much as I know there was a lot of disappointment in Trump, but it's like Joe is the equal opposite of Donald. He is boring. He is flatulent, embarrassing on the other level. Like, Donald was the racist grandpa who'd like to tell stories at parties where they shouldn't be told. And Joe is the one just fucking falling asleep when you're announcing the baby's gender. It's fucking terrible, but because he's our president, it's our fart, and you need to smell it and you need to like it.
This is the like legitimately where the only time it is appropriate for people to fart in a situation like this is if you're a baby or elderly. And at 78 years old, he's sitting there like, oh, thank you, Duchess. Pleasure to meet you. Can't wait for the conference. Yep. couldn't hold that one in. Sorry. I'm just, it's the way it goes these days.
Yeah, well, I'm almost 80. These cheeks ain't got the tension in them that they use. Like, it's just, I'm sorry, ma'am. So
sorry, Duchess.
like, yeah, like, look, if we keep electing fucking 80-year-old fucking dude, that's what you get. You get probably one or two, like pissing himself once or twice, definitely some sleeping. No, God, well, it's terrible.
Well, because nothing negative gets media coverage with this guy, but like, did you hear the one with the Pope?
No,
I heard that he pooped his pants. Yeah.
Yeah, and they went fucking media blackout on that one. Yeah. Like, and
I heard that the Pope blessed it.
I feel bad for the guy. I really.
I mean, I would think, right?
Yeah.
Oh man!
All the water in their holy waters when he washed himself. You know what I'm saying? It like immediately got it.
And then one of the bishops said, "I think we can make some good liquor out of this." I know from a guy on the inside.
Biden toilet.
Yeah.
Oh my God! But no, I imagine it was a nice long whistler, like just a.
That's a good one.
And it went up in pitch, like right at the very end, and yeah, and I bet Joe was just so oblivious, and his ears, his hearing so gone that he didn't even realize anybody. He thought it was silent but deadly, but it was just a loud whistler. And you know what? And fuck the Duchess of Cornwall. And by the way, just to let you know, Wes, the reason she's not a princess is because Princess Di was a princess,
right?
And because she's married
to Charles.
Her Bowles, she's a divorcee, as is Charles. Charles always is going to be a prince because she's a divorcee. She can never be a princess, so she's a duchess.
Got it. Well, I mean, Christ, if you're going to fart in the company of royalty, do it with the Duchess of Cornwall, in my opinion. And as a matter of fact, she should be honored. She should be flattered, not sit here and make. I don't know. She doesn't make crude remarks about it. I think she's just been going on and on and on about how farty it was. And I mean, again, 78. Listen, here's the thing. I'm trying to remember how old my grandfather was when he did this. I think he was like 89, really, really close to 90. We got done at dinner, drove back. It was my mother, my father, me and my brother, and my grandfather. And everyone but my mother had been tying one on. And his garage, you had to walk from the garage up a flight of steps to the upstairs. And he was like, nope, not going to make it. And just pissed in a aluminum trash can in his garage, to which he used to just throw corn husks in. They're from Iowa. It's like, nope, not going to make it. And that's what reminded me of this Biden. Like, nope, fart ain't going nowhere except out of my butt. All right, Duchess. On to the COP summit. Can't wait to get in there and fall asleep.
Let's go talk about lying to the world about climate change.
Christ, I fell asleep in college classes at 19 years old. No wonder fucking Biden was kind of conking out here at this. I'm sure it was riveting. I'm sure that the talks and the information and the data and the graphs and the PowerPoint slides just had everyone in the room's attention to full tilt. Except for him.
Yeah. No, I don't blame. No, I know. I've made a deal with myself that I wasn't going to give a hard time. If I was going to defend one guy, then I wasn't going to demonize another guy. And I don't blame him for falling asleep. But I get angry with the media for they're not treating people the same way. Does that make sense?
But they should make fun of him for falling asleep. That's ridiculous. Yeah. They should make fun of him a lot.
Absolutely. Like you said, I don't blame him for falling asleep because I would fall asleep too. However, you've made a big deal like this is the number one thing that's affecting the world and is going to cause the apocalypse, so maybe you should pay attention.
Yeah.
But then when he does fall asleep, I expect the media to not put the kid gloves on like they because they obviously were for the other guy, but the other guy was probably amphetamines of some kind, cutting down some Sudafed.
I was going to say, also falling asleep at the boring conference versus like getting up and being like, there was good people on both sides at Charlottesville are like two different issues. You get what I'm with you though, because I feel like we should. When I saw him fall asleep, I literally laughed out loud. Like I giggled to my. Like I was like, "You've got to be shitting me!" Like so, and you're right. I did not see him getting run through the ringer. I mean, if you pop on Fox, they definitely run through the ringer. So I guess it depends on which stations you're tuning into as well. But yeah, you're right. We should fucking lambaste him. Look, I am pro lambasting all fucking politicians. Just need that to be out there. I'm leading one way, but fucking, I ain't got a Joe Biden flag. Do they make those?
No, they have not.
Good,
but I do.
Good.
Have to, we do have to give an honorable mention to the White House aide that ran up to quote ask him a question. Right when his eyes like finally went down completely for 30 seconds. It's like, Mr. President, I don't have anything to say to you right now, but you're really falling asleep. So if you could really just kind of perk up a little bit, we'll get you some coffee in a few minutes. All right there. Oh, yeah. The decaf.
Actually, hold on.
No, Mr. President. Double calf.
That's what I think is the weird thing. Like, you have to wake him up so nicely. Like, sir. You know, excuse me, sir. Yeah, we need to wait. You know, you just we didn't play it off. When you can't just be like, "Hey, fucking idiot, get up!" Fucking fall asleep.
Rumor has it he was like, "Oh yeah. Oh, okay, I'm awake. All right, let's get to the summit."
Mr. President, I have a very important note to show you. It's my name written down 30 different times in a row because I can sign my name 100 times in a row, and it makes it look like an actual document. So if you could just take that and burn it when you get to your car.
Shit. Well, thank you, Sleepy Joe, for giving us that banter here in dull times. But wrapping out the in the news segments here, 2020. First of all, I didn't know there was a Toy Hall of Fame. Okay, did you? Any of you guys?
Yeah. I did.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Wow. Well, I'm
working in morning radio for a decade. I did this list every year. Okay, so I'm fully aware. It was a go-to. It was like it's a slow day. Did the goddamn Toy Hall announce its fucking nominees yet or not? So yeah, this is a good one.
Got it. Yeah. So 2021 inductions. First of all, it's out of Rochester, New York, and 2021 inductions include All American Dolls, which I am not familiar with. The game Risk, which led to a lot of fistfights in the Fox household between me and my older brother. And last but not least, and most notably, Sand. You heard that right. Not the game, not any type of, kids' toy or anything like that. Just your run-of-the-muck beach sand. Your thoughts on the induction of 2021?
Okay, so like American Dolls make sense because that's like a thing. That's like a big thing. They've been making them things for a long fucking time, and some of them are worth a lot of money. Risk, fair. Sand is not a game. It's not a toy. It's not. Sand is the earth. It's just a form of earth. I don't think you can call it a toy. I don't like this nomination whatsoever. The other two, perfectly fine with. Last one, Toy Hall of Fame, you're fucking up.
I disagree with you, Alan. Every year, the Toy Hall of Fame does nominate and elect what I would call a retro toy. I think one of the first inductions into the Toy Hall of Fame was actually the stick, the wooden stick. And they went through why they inducted it, and they said, boys of all ages for generations have used sticks to make swords or toy guns, and they went through the whole list of what the stick, because it had to do with imagination and how a toy is what because if you really think about like the toys, especially from like, are so specific. They're designed in a laboratory for a specific purpose. Whereas if you go to like sand, I mean, when I was a kid, sand. Me and my brother would go down there with like a bucket of water, and we would like build a volcano, and then we'd come down with baking soda and vinegar, and then we'd put up like we'd put little the little green army, and we would have like a volcano who died in the fucking lava and shit like that. So I can totally see why they would put sand into the equation. So I don't think it's bullshit, and I'm glad that they go back and champion something like that to say toys don't have to be expensive items. It's their imagination.
Okay. Well,
if you're a toy of its own.
If you're going to induct sticks in sand, then why don't you induct the toy that's with you for the longest, your own pecker? Because you play with that thing from day one all the way until your death. Okay. Sometimes it's a toy, sometimes it's a much needed object. But we'll go with the male pecker for 2022 early inductee nominee. Alan, your thoughts?
Yeah, like that makes a little more sense. That you play with from like even in the womb, you play with it. So,
well,
yeah, I get that. Look, the pail, like a pail or a little shovel or anything, like even the little castle bucket thingy would have been a fun. I would be like, yep, those are, or like if they were like sand toys, I'd be like, well, that's whack, but toys. But sand, I mean, I guess so. Is dirt or is it like sand slash dirt slash mud slash gravel slash you know like is it all forms of earth? Because just sand.
You guys are being awfully pessimistic and dickish towards sand here.
I think sticks is like makes sense. Like I'm with the stick, cool, guns, swords, all types of shit. Sand. I've never fucking sand.
Sand is so prevalent that you can go down to the Home Depot and there is a special sand that you can buy specifically for sand boxes. Like this is a thing, okay? And there's kids. Think about this, Wes. You mentioned Iowa, where you went. How much sand do they have in the middle of the goddamn country? And there's kids out there that have sandboxes. You think that sand is natural? You think it's native to that part of America? Kids across the United States of America who don't live on the coasts don't have sand. They've never touched sand. It's like snow for people in fucking Mexico. They don't see it all the time. It became a toy. It became a thing to play with. And how goddamn dare you? We can't even risk. Is that the fucking pine on sand?
All right, so let's not.
Bitches.
They got dirt though, right? It's just
they got dirt.
It's not the same.
Fat sand.
It's not
just
the
fat
same.
sand. That's all it is.
Why don't we go? Why don't we go snow?
Dirt. This is the same thing.
How about snow? Well, snow will be next year.
Yeah. What about it's just fucking water. Just water.
Water.
Other than that. Just like regular old water.
Right.
Yeah.
Chlorinated.
90% of the time.
Chlorinated and natural.
Not the slide that I used to plunge myself into the water, but the water itself.
This is why America is going to die. Because you fucks. 90% of the time I love you guys. 10% I fucking would shank you in your bed. I think sand's a toy. Yeah, no. I think you guys are assholes for not thinking sand's a toy. Sand is a toy. Sand became a toy because the imagination of the people who lived and died before you said this is a simple, magical, earthly product that you can have an imagination with. People fought and died on the sands of Normandy to give you the freedom that you're able to express today. Happy Veterans Day.
Jesus, you sound like fucking Walter.
I just watched Band of Brothers too, so I'm totally with it. Like I just rewatched Band of Brothers like literally 2 days ago. Like over 2 days I watched it. But no, look. There was something you said earlier, like you were like, go to Home Depot and get sandbox sand. You know what they don't sell at Home Depot? Toys. Fucking, I've never been to a fucking KB Toys to pick up some sand or a fucking. Well, that's a lie. You could go to Toys R Us, but they sold sandboxes. Kind of doesn't count. Fucking, the sandbox was the toy. The sand was the thing you need. It's like the batteries for your fucking remote control car. Like that's sand to me. Like you get one of those turtle shell, those turtle shell fucking sandboxes that all the kids had back in the day. Fucking, you get you one of those. Can't do shit with it until you put sand in it. This fucking garbage fucking thing, and now you can use your toy. Here's these batteries that mom always forgot. Everything's closed on Christmas. Now I can't ride my 4-wheeler outside. Fucking killing me. Same principle.
Are you making my point, or are you making a different point?
No, it's just a garbage thing that you need to play with your toy.
It's the toy, which is the point. The sand is the point. The turtle shell's not the toy. The thing you fill it with is the toy. You fucking fill it with sand and you play with it. And how dare you say that Home Depot doesn't sell toys? This is the problem with your lack of imagination. I had an idea for a show several years ago where you let people loose Survivor style inside of a home and see what they can come up with. I want you to build a go-kart. Home Depot. You have $7,500. Let loose. And they go pick out the materials and they build what they have to build. The Home Depot is a toy. It hasn't been built yet. So fuck you.
Yeah, that's cheap.
7,500.
Wes?
Yeah, I mean, I think I could build a good. I don't know why you have to have your John F. Kennedy voice when you do that, but whatever. Neither here nor there. What are you asking for? Whether or not sand's a toy or $7,500 is enough to build a good go-kart?
$7,500 is plenty to build a good go-kart.
Hell yeah, I could get you a car for $7,500.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Sand? No. Okay. If sand's a toy, again, next year I'm going to nominate dirt, snow, rocks, my dick, and I don't know, the gravel that's been shaken from the road that when they pave it every year, that you pick up and throw.
All things I've ejaculated in.
Yeah. I was going to say,
terrible
toys. Shit. Well, folks, Rochester, New York. We'll have to pay it a visit one day. I don't know. I've never been to Rochester, so road trip, 9 hours. I ain't going. But next,
wait, what were the two though? There was Risk and what was the other one?
The All American Girls, All American Dolls.
All American,
they're American Girl dolls.
Yeah.
There's a whole store in Times Square where you go. It's like the Lego store for American Girl dolls. But Risk, probably the most pure board game of all time. Mm-hmm. I'm amazing at it.
Yeah.
I'd love to play you guys at it. It's a strategic game. Teaches kids about warfare.
That's right.
Which you can simulate in the sand.
There are some beaches involved.
Just on the dirt, just outside on the dirt.
That's right. It's a little more, but it's like Stratego, but better.
Stratego.
I always like Stratego.
Stratego. Yeah. I love Stratego. Yeah. We get Stratego. Okay, when we finally are done with this entire bullshit, whatever it is now, it's not a lockdown, it's not a pandemic. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I want to. Stratego night.
Could have done that already.
Yeah, now we're just being lazy. We can't blame this shit on fucking any type
everybody's all juiced up. We're good.
we're just like being like I'll just blame
it. It's like this is just easier.
Yeah. Right.
You're right.
Play it online. All right, bro. They probably have online Stratego. So we can do that. All right, Mr. Murr. It is Friday, and it's time for some knowledge come via a little segment we'd like to call
Fun Fact Friday. Let's drop some knowledge on you fuckers right now. Brought to you by the Shin Splints Recovery Group. Find them on Facebook if you've got any pain below the knee and above the ankle. The Shin Splints Recovery Group is a group for assholes like you. Them on Facebook. Fun Fact Friday. 5 fun facts for you fuckers. Let's get to it. Did you know you're at least 3 times as likely to be a sleepwalker if you have OCD, depression, insomnia, sleep apnea, or a relative who also sleepwalks?
Well, as a sleepwalker, I certainly don't suffer from any of those afflictions. I'm just going to blame it on my father, and it's true because my brother is also a sleepwalker. I haven't done it in a long time. About once every 3 or 4 months, I just wake up in a screaming fit panic that drives everyone in the house nuts. Haven't gotten up and punched around, at least to the best of my knowledge. But OCD and all those other things, nope. Don't suffer from those. Nope. Fit as a fiddle.
Yeah. No, I don't sleepwalk. Wait, what was there was a
OCD, depression, insomnia, sleep apnea were a relative.
Asshole, impotence.
I got the sleep apnea. Not that bad though. After I lost a lot of weight, which go figure, right? Lose some weight, stop snoring.
And sleepwalking is such a weird fucking thing. I mean, think about that. You're cognizant. Your brain is firing to a point where you are in sleep, but you're getting up and Bobcat Goldthwaiting around the place.
Your brain's driving the car, and you did not tell it to. Your brain's just driving the vehicle, and you consciously are asleep. You're in bed. Oh shit.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised that more people don't sleepwalk because, dreams are so realistic and vivid. It almost seems like the sleepwalker has more access to more areas of their brain capacity, their thinking capacity, because they're just acting out what their mind is seeing in the dream. You know what I mean? Okay, I don't necessarily classify this as sleepwalking, but that classic dream where you're climbing something and then you fall and then all of a sudden you do that thing or you freak the fuck out right before you hit the ground. That's kind of quasi sleepwalking because you're acting out what's happening in the dream. You're physically acting out what is happening in your head mentally. So to me, sleepwalking is almost like the person who's sleepwalking, obviously dangerous, but they have more access to areas of your brain that people who don't sleepwalk do not have.
Yeah, that's weird though. All right, so I guess the question begs is are all people who are sleeping dreaming at that time?
I would assume so.
We're assuming that they are. You know what I mean? I don't know. I would like to see if that's true because, what if you're not dreaming and you're sleepwalking? Then what's the logic behind it? You know what I mean? You're not acting out anything. You're not even dreaming. You're just fucking autopiloting around.
Aren't you? Yeah. Aren't you an REM? Aren't you dreaming? But you don't remember those dreams because you're dreaming the entire time you're asleep. The only ones you really remember is when you first go to bed or when you're getting close to waking up. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I'm no expert. I'm only an expert in sleepwalking, which I've never experienced myself sleepwalking. So therefore, I can't really explain what I was thinking while I was walking around my house, making bowls of Cinnamon Toast Crunch and eating them.
I like Alan, was fully distracted by shiny, happy people because you said REM.
Uh-huh.
Which is what we started the show with.
Shiny, happy. There's shiny people over here, the happy people over there. What's next?
Did you know cotton candy was invented by a dentist? In 1897, William Morrison and his partner, John C. Wharton, invented machine-spun cotton candy, but when they first introduced it at the 1904 World's Fair, they called it Fairy Floss.
Berry floss?
Fairy
floss. Damn. 1904. Was that St. Louis or Chicago? I think it's Chicago.
I don't know.
I think it was Chicago. Either way, it doesn't matter. Here
There's only 3 cities, so
yeah. I mean, St. Louis, Chicago, and New York have hosted it, so I got a 33% chance. I think maybe Los Angeles did once. Damn, dentist. Hey, let's just whip this fucking sugar into a frenzy, and that's when hey, we don't give a shit. We're going to sell this at the World's Fair. There's going to be people from all over the fucking world here, and we're gonna make a mint.
Well, it makes sense since Pfizer invented COVID-19. Am I right?
Yeah,
Am I right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and Moderna and Johnson Johnson just following suit, doing fetal cells.
No, I'm willing to bet that a couple of dentists, they know that sugar causes cavities. I'm not saying they did this for nefarious purposes, but then they're like, hey, let's fuck around with sugar and see if we can make a more digestible way of ingesting this thing. so that kids don't get cavities. Because, dude, cotton candy, like, you lick that shit, it turns to liquid. It's gone. Like, that's the beauty of cotton candy. So it's not staying in your mouth for an extended period of time like a Jolly Rancher, which is like the most dense form of pure sugar that's known to man. You can lose a filling because that thing's just sticking there for fucking 3 days while you're trying to gnaw on it. So in a way, I'm not blaming these guys. Like they had a clever invention, man. I hope they made a shit ton. I hope they made more money off of cotton candy than they did off their dental practice.
Oh, probably. Almost guaranteed.
Yeah, at a World's Fair for like 10 days, they probably cleaned up. Yeah. Closed down the dentist shop.
And that's like back then, that's all the money you needed for like life, for like ever. That was it. They were set. They were good to go. Yeah, no, I think you're right, because like you said, hard candies, concentrated sugar. And then like, I don't know about you guys, but I know what I do with a lot of my hard candies, and they go like right back here. And they just kind of sit there while they slowly rot that tooth that's back there, like until it gets small enough for me to also then be like crunch, also damaging my teeth. But yeah, probably on something, cotton candy guys.
Yeah.
I also hate cotton candy. It's fucking gross.
Yes. I was just saying it sucks. All right, Mur.
No, I'm with you.
Cotton candy's not gross. What's gross about it?
The flavor of cotton candy.
I don't know, man. It's just like, it's kind of worthless. It withers away and it makes everything fucking sticky.
It's terrible, yeah.
Just get some Skittles.
They just get this fucking like nasty paper fucking tube at the end of it all. Like, it's just not cool.
Yeah.
I just feel like you guys are eating cotton candy wrong, man. Like, it's like,
is there a wrong way to eat it?
Apparently, you guys have fucking figured it out.
You can't look at it without it melting. It's not. I didn't make it that way.
Murr probably ate it while he was in the sandbox. Like, this is such a great toy. Yum, yum,
like,
yum,
look
yum.
at this great toy and my fucking revolutionary candy.
The key to eating cotton candy for you Neanderthals is you have to use your fingers and pull the cotton candy off and then put chunks in your mouth. You don't just lick it off the thing. And if you do lick it, you bite it and then pull away and then get it in your mouth. And then it's gone. Then you don't get the sticky mess that you guys are fucking complaining about. Cotton candy is a glorious, sweet treat.
It's not. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Especially at places with funnel cake and fucking caramel apples and fucking corn dogs and basically everything that's not cotton candy is at the same location. Why the fuck would I eat cotton candy?
I was going to say, that's about 15th on my list of things that where cotton candy is available. There's a multitude of things I want to eat instead of cotton candy.
You know what's better than eating cotton candy? Watching cotton candy get made and then walking away not eating.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That is fair. But speaking of fair, like, don't get me started. Funnel cake is probably the best. Anywhere they're selling cotton candy, they're selling funnel cake. And don't get me and Wes started on funnel cake.
Mur, we already pitched him the idea. He was in. He was like, yeah, float cakes. Sell it. I'm in.
I don't understand the name.
Damn, man. Funnel cake cereal, man. I'm telling you, man. And this is the problem with America, is that we don't have a facility that's capable of creating a bite-sized, crunchable funnel cake. Just delightful treat.
I feel like that's the 5th time you've been like, this is the problem with America.
Ooh, that's right. I know. You have been on a whole, like, reform America trip tonight.
Well, goddamn it, America's got a lot of problems. Not having funnel cake cereal is one of them. Okay, let's get it. Elon Musk got $6 billion to throw around to solve world hunger. I'll tell you what, a lot of hungry people would enjoy the funnel cake.
Yeah.
Some float cake cereal.
We'll airlift him some float cakes and fucking 2%. Have him fucking go to work. Yeah. And then we'll follow it up with some
the dream on the
we'll follow it up with some cotton candy and watch those bastards go, fuck you, and throw it away into the sand.
All right. Did you know the smell of fresh cut grass is actually the smell of each blade of grass trying to heal itself from the traumatic injury caused when it was cut in half.
Sounds right.
It's so dark.
Oh my God. That's oh man, your grass, that's a fresh cut grass smell right there. Oh God. I hate thinking about that. You changed my life.
Thank you, Wes. I just think of each blade of grass like screaming out like it's being stabbed by its brother with a 24-year-old grudge. Help me!
Photosynthesis! God. No. Jesus Lord.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
It's
I don't want to draw a cartoon of that now.
God, I want to bake my yard sand now. If I can eat grass in there.
The worst toy in the world, apparently.
oh, fuck me. Good. I'm glad you guys reacted to that the same way I read it. Did you know? A study found female scientists are consistently judged as less competent and offered lower salaries than males with identical qualifications, even if they're being hired by other female scientists.
I thought the argument...
That's not surprising in the slightest.
I was going to say, I thought the argument with that was across the board, not just the science community, but kind of...
I'm pretty sure that's standard being
I think
professional.
I think the funness of the fact is, if it's a fact that you know this is happening, then you would think that people in that community study these statistical anomalies would say, oh, well, I shouldn't offer them less because I work in the same field too, but you're a woman, so you're obviously less qualified than the men in this department. By the way, this fact was written by a woman. No, I'm just kidding. They don't let women write facts.
I was gonna say no. That definitely works. Like the men are like, well, clearly you can't make as much as me, so here's less. And then the women are like, well, you're a competition, so here, take less money. You know what I mean?
Ah, so you're going back to the old argument that women are cunts.
Dude, I get it, ladies. The patriarchy has damned you from Jump Street, you know. But y'all hate each other. Maybe we did that to y'all, and that could be a thing. I don't know. I'm not getting into it, but I'm just saying that y'all ladies are meaner to yourselves than we are by far, in my opinion. At least emotionally, you guys are hurtful.
Oh, in all departments, but the emotion, obviously, the number one. Like you can't be more attractive than me. You can't be smarter than me. You can't make more money than me. You know, I believe men give women a more fair shake than women give each other.
Yeah,
right now, no. Alan just got done telling you historically we've fucked them over. You're talking about today,
like
in present times.
Look, yes. Generally speaking, I think the climate of today is that men are more aware of being, you know, cognizant of things like that. But
right.
We all also exist in a system that is built around us.
Sure.
So, you know, sorry, ladies, that is what it is. But you take it easy on yourselves. Y'all are on the same team. You don't see us bashing each other like that all the time.
And
we just fight it out, you know?
Yeah, we're moisturizing more, okay? I mean... Like,
right? Maybe.
Look at the glow. Look at the glow.
Participate in fist fights more. See? We take something from you take something from us. You know, like maybe it isn't, you know, fuck Rhonda's husband. It isn't that. You don't want to do that. That's a lot. That's extreme. What you could do is go up to that and say, I'll meet you in the parking lot, and then fucking watch what happens.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm like, damn.
But yeah,
Janet's fucking sticking up for herself. I think she fucking deserves a raise.
So you're saying there should be more Karen fights in the parking lots of high school football games? Is that kind of what I'm gathering here?
I mean, no, that seems like a bad theater. I'm saying, like, you know, outside of the office, you know, when like HR didn't get the problem resolved. You know what I mean? Like, everybody got like a write up, sent their separate ways. But you feel like Sheila needs a fucking 2-piece and a biscuit, and the parking lot's the fucking drive-through, baby. Like, I can't help.
And then Janet gave Sheila the 2-piece in the biscuit.
Yep.
She punched her in her cooch.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Look, hey, how many men have gotten in a fight with each other because one got passed over for the promotion, the other one didn't, who didn't deserve it? And so we fought for ourselves. And yes, Wes, I believe that men have now in the 21st century learned from the errors of their past and are willing to put everybody on an equal playing field. However, women have been so competitive to try to get to that equal playing field, they haven't given up their ways of the past of crawling all over each other to get to the top. So men are willing to give women more of a fair shake than women are willing to give each other.
I think we need to give them about 20 to 25 years to ground it, because men have given them an unfair shake for a long, long time. I mean, Christ, not too long. Watch fucking Mad Men. I mean, that's it. I think
our behaviors are trending in the right direction. I think.
Yes. Right.
But we still live in a society that, doesn't give fucking maternity leave sometimes.
Sure.
And just some things that are innately female that we're like, what do you need that for? We don't get pregnant. That's fucking crazy. We don't have kids. What do you fucking need time off for?
And then
outrageous.
Think about this: in 25 years, Murr is going to pull a Fun Fact Friday card that has to do with trans workplace association and things like that. And we're going to have to go, Jesus fuck, I trans deal with female and male and themselves in this particular manner. Wow.
I think at that point in time, like at that age when that happens, we'll probably be we'll be the conservative podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
However, I'll look great because I'm moisturizing now.
Exactly. That's key. Everybody's got to moisturize. We should probably do facials on the. We should do live fucking facials.
Because I've done nipple wax and I'll get that facial done, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, I'll wear a charcoal mask next week if you want. Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Stuff. Actually, I'm not gonna lie.
Did you know ancient Egyptian pharaohs were fat? Despite their slim and striking depictions in artworks, they ate a high-sugar diet of beer, wine, honey, and bread. Examinations of their mummies have shown that many of them suffered from obesity, heart disease, and the beatus.
I didn't know that.
I didn't, but hell, they call it. They don't call it living like a king for nothing, right? I mean,
that's true. I just thought that was more of like a Roman kind of thing. Because here's another quick fun fact. Did you know that Cleopatra lived closer to the invention of the iPhone than she did to the erection of the Great Pyramids?
Yes, also true. People think Egypt happened in 100 years. Very incorrect. But yeah, no. What was the original point? The fucking what was it? Damn, I totally.
That they lived that they were all
pharaohs,
fat slobs.
No, so everywhere, all ancient civilizations, fucking leaders, fat, food, rich, power. That's how good. Fucking in India, caste system style, baby. They were like, oh, you trying to fucking take this dowry, fat Indian guy for my daughter? Yeah, do that because you're fat. You clearly have money to eat and keep yourself alive. Take my daughter, please. That's how shit worked, man. All over ancient civilization. So that is not surprising.
And here's some bread and a vat of honey to dip it in while you enjoy it.
Exactly. Who's not eating that way? The people in the fucking pyramids. You know what I'm saying? You're getting a little bit of water, maybe a little bit of sand. It's the greatest toy on earth.
I wonder if the Jews are going to protest that nomination. That wasn't play.
It was kid.
Terrible.
Oh, and that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday?
Shit. Well, just a shade under an hour and 20 minutes. Alan, let the ladies and gentlemen and the the women who feel like they're getting dogged down in the workplace and judged on by other women and the transgenders where they can find us.
Listen, women, lift yourselves up. That's just my message for right now. Anyway. You can find us on all your favorite social media platforms. We're the Middle Classholes on Facebook. We're at MDL Classholes on Instagram and Twitter. And, of course, for your ear holes, please check us out on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. And, of course, our favorite mode of communication, please email us at tickleourtummies. That's right, tickleourtummies@gmail.com.
Murr, I feel like were you sizing up an email? Did we get anything this week?
I was looking, but the answer is no. No, not at all.
We're on a good run, though.
Yeah. I feel like we between my brother and I don't remember
Farmer Janky and Keith. We were on a good run, but yeah, no emails this particular week.
That's okay. Not to worry. Well, folks, I appreciate your time, and I tell you what, if you get caught manufacturing, distributing, or purchasing a fake COVID vaccination card, I hope you get a fish hook in your dick hole or through your clitoris.